Hello, hello, hello. What is up, people of Earth? My name is Archer, and this is episode 3 of Back to the Mat, a recurring show where I, a former wrestling fan, is jumping back into the wrestling bubble after years away, and I'll be documenting my experience along the way. Documenting my experience, my thoughts, my predictions, uh, essentially from a week to week basis, and this includes Raw, SmackDown, the PLEs. And today we're going to be breaking down the SmackDown before the Elimination Chamber, right? I feel like it's a little convenient for me. Well, actually, no, it's not even convenient. This is work overload. Overload. I picked literally the worst time. And now I have to review a pay-per-view. Great. Or PLE, as they now like to call it. But yeah, that's happening. Busy week. Now, just a couple of housekeeping things I want to get out of the way. To make it easier for you, I do put timestamps in every single one of my video descriptions. Um, Tonight's episode is going to be a little shorter, simply because, to be honest, I didn't really like this episode of SmackDown. Right, the plan is always to break down the show, kind of go through it line by line or segment by segment. But man, this show really just dragged, and so I'm kind of gonna be shooting from the hip here. Usually I have a more structured show, but there's there's too much and too little I want to talk about, so I'm just gonna skip to the major details of things and just what's on my mind, and then just speed run that and just give you my thoughts on the essentials, essentially. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's begin. And now we get to the part of the show where I speak to some of your comments. Or should I say comments? So after the Raw review video went live, this comment on the screen popped up. And after reading it, I kind of went and, looked online and said, okay, let me see what other people are saying. The consensus is essentially that the AJ Styles Raw tribute episode, everyone was saying online that that may have been the worst episode of Raw this year. So I didn't think it was personally that bad for it to be labeled the worst Raw of this year. But then again, I haven't been watching as long. But all I know is when I left, it was so much worse. It was like pulling teeth almost. So having you know, 3, 4 bits that were just enough for me to go, all right, that's pretty interesting. Kind of made it worth my time, I would say, especially coming back, right? And so, yeah, it was crazy because I'm reading this comment and look, I can understand other people's frustrations, and I can, hear, yeah, I can understand the frustration, but damn, everyone but me just seems to hate this. But the Undertaker thing did feel weird. I agree, and congrats to AJ Styles. But yeah, by the way, if you want to get featured, I don't even know if this is going to be a recurring theme or segment, whatever you want to call it, in the next episode, but I'll keep doing it if you keep commenting because that's the whole purpose, right? So comment down below and maybe we'll discuss it on the next episode. So yeah, this is more up to you than it is to me. Like, there's nothing, then there's nothing. All right, let's get on with it. All right, so there is so much going on in this week's episode that it just it was too long, man. It was dragging on for what felt like eternity. Now, I don't usually like I don't look at the clock when I'm watching the show, but all I can say is I was on my phone for a bit. I was kind of like, let me try to do some other stuff here and there, not like activities in the house or anything, but just like looking elsewhere. Oh, check on this thing. Dude, I'm watching the show, and the first 15 minutes of the show, I was actually interested. I was like, oh, there's something here. I like it. Something's going on. It's building to something. It's keeping me, interested in the story. But as it kept going on, it just felt like a whole lot of nothing. It was just boring. It dragged. And then at the end, I come to find out that this was a 3 hour episode of SmackDown. When the hell did SmackDown become 3 hours? Now, I know, and I mentioned it in the last episode, that in the last episode, sorry, yeah, in the last episode, I mentioned that I noticed that Raw was like an hour and 40 minutes at an average, and the AJ Styles tribute ended up being like 2 hours and 34 minutes or so. SmackDown, from my experience, was always like an hour, 2 hour. I think they kind of like pushed it out. 3 hours is insane. It felt longer, and I just couldn't like keep up. Like I'm still watching the show, but I'm just waiting for things to just get over. Like I'm like, dude, get to the finish. I don't care. There were 7 matches in this thing. Well, technically, like really six. I'm counting the Miz because the bell rang, the Miz's match because the bell rang. But dude, it was boring. And I know they're kind of like setting up small things here and there down the line, but my God, it just, it was too much. Like, titles changed hands on the. Okay, I can see where that's going, right? I can understand that, but it felt like they didn't really have a reason for certain things to happen. Now, I would go into it, but micro and dissecting it, it's it's too much, especially because Elimination Chamber is coming up. But all in all, there were 7 matches, and 3 hours later, I was exhausted. I couldn't wait to go to sleep. Yeah. So, other than that, there isn't really much to say, but we're going to get into the 4 things that I really just want to talk about. So, here we go. So, let's get into it. So, a lot of things happen on the show, but these are really the only 4 things I want to talk about, or at least, because Elimination Chambers are right there. Um, it's easier for me to talk about off the top of my head rather than dissecting each and every segment throughout SmackDown. So, first of all, Jey Uso is out and Logan Paul is in. I have zero problem with this. Obviously they had to call an audible and have Jay win, but he doesn't have to be at the chamber. And this was a great way of just kicking him out, because I don't think anyone really wanted to see any of this. Uh, and also, there's so many mysteries now. It's getting it's getting a little bit too much, but I'm also a little bit excited about who attacked him. How did this happen? X, Y, and Z. Um, it feels like a lot of who done it sort of things are happening in WWE, like right, like who's in the crate, who's the masked man, who attacked Jey Uso, and I'm sure I'll find a whole bunch more as I keep watching. But so far, a, a lot of that going on. But yeah, no problem with Logan Paul being the replacement. I think he's a better addition. If I have to see Jey Uso run his theme song in the Elimination Chamber, I would have laughed. I would have laughed right at the screen because that would have happened, and it would have been ridiculous, and it would have been silly. But I'm glad he's out. So things working out. Number 2, the Masked Man storyline. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. I think this is the WWE just going, forget it. Just the plan was maybe to have Seth in the mask at the very end, but I think They just needed to call it quits on this. The only thing is, they unmasked the guy, and it's nobody. It's not like he's someone we're familiar with. It's not like he's a face you've seen or something. He's an absolute nobody, and now that's another mystery. Who are you? Like at Elimination Chamber, are they gonna have this guy like in handcuffs? Are they gonna question him? Are they gonna like you know have him spill the beans about what's going on? Be like, hey man, who are you? Start from the beginning. Like a part of me thinks they unmasked this dude. It's a random dude, and they're just never gonna talk about it again. Now it's a little too early to even you know bring all of this up and you know but my gut feeling is that face you won't be seeing again. And and if you do see it again, we have to see him at Elimination Chamber. He has to be present there to answer some questions. I don't want to wait till Raw because then it's just weird that you have this guy Saturday, Sunday, and then he shows up on the Raw, and I'm like, that's too many days have passed. You need to kind of like get to the point, and I think Elimination Chamber a segment might do them a little justice. I don't know what reasoning, but he's probably going to say someone paid me this and that, and we just kind of go from there and accept the truth. Um, Speaking of the truth, our truth in the ESPN segment. I don't know if this is like a thing they do very often where they show you how to use the app, like how to watch Elimination Chamber. I know Michael Cole used to do it with the WWE Network. 9.99, like he used to just. I mean, how many times did he throw that in our face? But like a wrestler doing that outside of like outside of the show. Oh, sorry, but a wrestler doing that within the show. I don't know. I don't remember. I can't put my finger on. Maybe it's a thing they do. I don't know. But it kind of got the hamster wheel in my head going because for them to put this together, and it doesn't look like they put a lot of work into it. I mean, you can literally see they just printed out the words ESPN. I'm thinking like, are ticket sales bad? Are people not fully like is not are the numbers for the ESPN Unlimited signups not the numbers they want, so they had to like throw this in there into the show? Are people having a hard time signing up? Because I'll tell you this, ESPN Plus, not Unlimited, Plus, it's a horrible interface. It is dog trash, dude. It is awful. I could make a whole episode about that. But yeah, the that process in my head was like spinning. I'm like, well, what is the purpose? What happened for them to get our truth to tell them the URL link activation.espnunlimited.com? Like what had to happen? That's basically it. It's me kind of like running through it. Also, what happened to Ron Killings? Like he had a whole character change. He went, he attacked John Cena, and now he's back to lovable R Truth, and I'm like, no problem. But it feels like they just kind of gave up on that whole thing, and now you're just kind of like, all right, he is who he is now. He's just back to his old fun ways, and they just kind of like used him in this segment here just to tell people how to watch the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. So I know there's more important things. I know someone's gonna go, "Ups, dude, you didn't even talk about the women's tag titles changing hands," and I'm like, I could care less. Because I didn't care about that tag team at all. I really didn't. But I'll tell you what tag team I did care about: the Charlotte and Alexa Bliss segment. Now, uh, I don't know what it is, and I can't really put my finger on it, but I love this combination. I don't know. Seriously, I wish I could point it at something. I wish I could go, it's because of this. But their tag team, I'm enjoying it. There is something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to place it on. There's nothing a particular thing. Their chemistry is probably what I'm kind of leaning towards, but I don't even know what piece of that chemistry is the component that's making me love this so much. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I care. Um, I care about where this goes. I care that Charlotte is like a super friend to her. It makes me happy. Um, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm here. I'm enjoying it. I'm here for the ride. And 3 tubs of ice cream. Jesus. She's going through it, man. She's going through it. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I wish I had a decisive reason to give you, but I really don't. On to the Elimination Chamber predictions. All right, now we get to the half-ass Elimination Chamber predictions because I just I had to make this a part of the show for tonight because I'm like I can't wait to see how wrong I am. I truly want to know just how bad this goes. Because, like I said in the beginning, I did listen to some podcasts and I kind of like stopped it, a couple minutes in once I kind of was like, ah, yeah, 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 don't immerse yourself completely in all the background information and the details and all these different webs of theories and things. Just kind of like, you know, what's the consensus and move on. But I'm a little excited to see, how the results on the screen play out tonight. This is gonna be great. So I think Randy Orton's gonna win the Elimination Chamber. Um, can I be honest? I have no idea what the winner gets. I'm not even kidding. I think it's a shot at the WrestleMania champ or something. I know like someone is gonna go, dude. They said it on the Smack. Oh, they said it on the Raw. But to be honest, and I was paying attention on Raw. SmackDown, not so much. Man, I was like here and there, in and out. And yeah, I'm not even kidding. For the both men's and women's, I have no clue what they're fighting for. Like, what does the winner get? What exactly? Um, but I think because of that Alexa Bliss Charlotte segment, I'm assuming that kind of rolls into fighting Jade Cargill. But we'll see. Jesus, this is how little background information I know. But here we go. So yeah, I think Randy's gonna win. I was thinking they might give it to Cody, but I don't know. Something tells me they're gonna change it up. Something tells me old reliable is coming back. Everyone's gonna hit their spots. Everyone's gonna hit their moves, and at the end, it's gonna be Randy Orton at the top. And also Randy kind of, he kind of hinted at it on SmackDown as well with Drew McIntyre. So I'm like, yeah, I think that might be the direction. I don't honestly. I heard Cody's promo. I didn't care for it at all. He said, "You want to do this right here, right now." If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm laughing at your face. I'm like, "Do you really think I'm gonna like realistically? Come on." I would just legitimately just laugh. I'm like, "Come on, get out of here." You think I'm gonna right here, right now? What is a joke? I have more to lose than you do. Anyway, old reliable's gonna win. Randy Orton. Uh, Women's Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley. She lost the title. I don't know how much there a rift is coming in between Io Sky and Rhea, but I have a feeling out of all of the people in there, she's got the best chance at winning. And like for it to make sense, I suppose, but then again, haven't been watching, so maybe someone has a better case. Maybe an unexpected win from this person is gonna kind of elevate them up the card or whatever. Yeah. Uh, number 3, the crate. Dude, I I don't even know anymore. I have no clue. I thought it was Jericho. I thought it was Jericho, and then I go on and I listen to some podcasts and some videos, and everyone's like, "No, man, Jericho's they froze his contract in AEW, so he's still stuck there." And I'm like, okay, so there's no chance then. If they froze his contract in AEW, even though whatever, I think they said it expired at the end of the year, but because he didn't compete, froze. Now he's held back. It's not possible, right? But in the world of possibilities, one name came up. Uh, shit, I forgot his name. You know, I want to get it right. Let me get it right. Okay, its name. Jesus Christ. I'm not even gonna edit this out. I'm just gonna keep it in because this is gonna be like this is one of those videos that I'm making, one of few videos where it's gonna be just a raw filter of it all. Danhausen. Danhausen. It's gonna be Danhausen. That's what the world is saying right now. And the funny thing is, I said don't make it goofy. Like I said it on the Raw review. Like if they put Jericho in there, that's just absurd. That's just ridiculous. A human being in there for 2 weeks. Apparently, I don't know. I have no idea who Danhausen is. I don't know his character. I have zero. But apparently, word's going around that if he's in there, it's not that goofy. Like it's like reasonable. I don't understand it. Maybe it's the character of he looks like a vampire. Is that why? I don't know. I have no clue anymore. I was watching Smackdown, and as it was happening, when Jey Uso got injured, I went, oh, you know what's happening? That's gonna be the last piece of the puzzle, right? The box or the crate opens, and out comes the like whatever the mystery is, you know? Like out comes the last member in the pod. Now it doesn't have to be the person in the crate. It could be like I said, like it could be, you know, those things that remind you of an ex, like a person. Like, oh wow, look at it's. I'm just gonna use fuck it. I'll use the Chris Jericho one. I said, why not put a mannequin in there with a light up jacket and have his memorabilia, and then you pan off, and then the camera kind of pulls out, and just Jericho walks into frame. So it could be something like that where it has the person's memorabilia, their stuff. Like if it was Triple H, you would have the sledgehammer in there. Maybe I don't know. Other than the sledgehammer, what leather jacket, something to to make you go, oh, it's they're referencing him or they're referencing yeah yeah they're referencing him. But no, that spot has now been taken by Logan Paul. So I have exhausted my predictions for what could be inside. And I'm still excited. I if it's Danhausen, I'm here for it, man. I have no idea who he is, but I'm here for whatever. Dude, the way it's been presented, people are like, it's a goofy, but it's Danhausen goofy. And I'm paraphrasing there. And I'm like, okay, I guess that is the possibility that works if there's a human in there. Okay. CM Punk. Yeah, I think he's gonna retain. Um, apparently from the WrestleMania tickets and everything, it has to be like Punk and Roman, and that's kind of catering to the business side of the WWE and TKO, right? Putting Finn in there might might cause an issue, like in the business wise, because they're like, well, you know, he's gonna be on the poster with Roman, but really Punk and Roman are you know, the faces, right? Like that's where the money lies. And that will kind of drive in like last minute ticket sales and stuff like that. So I think simply because it's a business decision, Punk is gonna win. I would like for Finn to win, but dude, it's been 10 years. They didn't give him anything since then. That's crazy. So it's been 10 years. And the timing couldn't have been worse. But who knows? Maybe this might roll into something, or maybe we might actually get Finn winning the championship, and then they have like a triple threat. But I don't know how comfortable or dangerous that might be. Because of this whole ticket sale situation. Like, do they just play it safe and go two top guys, Punk, Roman, WrestleMania? We're good to go, and Finn is like the filler in between, which is unfortunate, but um, looking at it from that angle, that's what's happening. But yeah, I hope Finn wins. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, rather than the predictable. And Becky Lynch, this one is I I'm rooting for her to win. I liked her promo on Raw, which is why I'm choosing her. Do I think she's gonna win? Like, to be honest, the more I thought about it, I go, I want her to win, but at the end of the night, are they gonna give it to her? And I think that answer is no, because they're trying to have her lose here and then win it back at WrestleMania. That way you kind of have that AJ Lee run. But to be honest, man, I don't want to see that. Do like AJ Lee's back? I don't give a damn. I truly don't care. Like there's a piece of me that's like, dude, build the stars that you have on the roster. Like, who cares about like her coming back? Like, I'm sure like the nostalgia fans are coming back and be like, oh wow, she's here. Let me watch it. But I truly, I'm like, dude, build the stars within, give them the rub, the shine, the platform, and then move on from there. We need to stop going back 15 years. And I get it, she was here because of the storyline thing, but and I don't really know at what capacity they like AJ, like, how long is she really gonna be here? Like, how long? A month? 2 months? Until after WrestleMania, are we gonna see her again? This feels all like a ploy just to drive the ticket sales rather than building something bigger. Who knows? Maybe she wins the title, does a Brock Lesnar Open Challenge sort of deal, and just, I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. But yeah, having Punk lose, no, they can't do that. Somebody from Chicago has to win. I think it's Punk. They could both win, Punk and AJ, kind of husband and wife, you know, uh, as champions. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited. This is going to be interesting. We got the crate. We got the Punk versus Finn. We got the Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. We got the men's and women's elimination chamber. There's a lot to sink my teeth into for elimination chamber. There's a lot to talk about. I'm a little more excited, even though the go home shows are just not Raw to me. Great. Nice, better than I expected. SmackDown was the letdown. So, yeah. And finally, we have what's next? Yeah, I know it's a pretty short show, but yeah, today I just wanted to shoot from the hip a little bit. I didn't want to make a super structured outline and go through everything line by line. I kind of just wanted to give you the raw, unfiltered thoughts that are just coming through my head without, you know, too much too much being polished off, you know what I mean? So if it sounds like I was all over the place in this episode, yeah, that's the reason why. I just kind of put everything together and been, when you know what, just it's coming up. A lot of things changed. There's a late replacement for Elimination Chamber. Really can't like put everything together. And the fact that this is the first week and it's a PLE at at the end of this, oh my goodness. I just created more work for myself when I didn't have to. So, yes, apologies for this being unstructured, but I'm glad to have done it because, you know, who knows? Maybe this episode might be the best one yet out of the three that I've done. I don't know. You guys let me know. Seriously, let me know. Drop a comment. If this sucked ass, I will never unfilter it again. I will do a more structured layout like the other ones, but I'm sure you won't hold back. Anyway, stay tuned because the next episode is going to be the Elimination Chamber review, right? So I want to hear from you. It's coming up, and I want to know what you think is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. What do you think is in the crate? What is going to happen with the masked man? Are they going to show him at Elimination Chamber? Are they going to question him? What are they going to do with that guy? Because they've now unmasked him. Who knows? If they have another masked man on Raw, I probably might just lose it. Just keep having masked men show up, just unoriginal and regurgitating the same thing. But I want to hear your theory. I want to hear it. I want to hear how you feel. How do you feel about this episode? How do you feel about what's been going on recently? How do you feel about the Elimination Chamber that's coming up? Are you excited? Who do you think is going to win? Drop it all in the comments below. Let me know. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when my next video drops. So, this has been episode. What is this episode? One, two. Well, technically, this is. I don't even know anymore. Actually, no, this is 3, so that's a typo. Jesus, I'm horrible at this. We'll get this straightened out. But yes, this has been Back to the Mat, episode 3, Smackdown kind of review / Elimination Chamber predictions. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.